This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, starting at verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through, for want of the fruits of the field. Shalom, Yasha'Allah. Peace, Israel. Call HALALYAM law. AHTHAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. I'm the brother QADASH from the Camp Province of Babylon, down here in Tampa, Florida, coming at you with another quick hit through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. I would like to give double honors to the head elders and apostles of the Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace, blessing, love, health, and oneness, and all salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David that is scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth, that are laboring in his truth with all sincerity. Shalom. And BARAK to the AHTHAM, the few sisters that are listening and learning in. Hoping to feed the lambs and the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Straight to the point, let's get to the lesson. Excuse me. So now, as you've seen in the post-introduction video, all right, I have another clip. It's about 5 seconds long. YAHAWAH, I'll be able to play it towards the end of the video. And I have a picture, all right? This picture right here is from my neighborhood Walmart, okay? And the spirit was dawned on me to go ahead and do a lesson on it, all right? But I want to bring back that precept that I brought out in the beginning for edification's sake, and then we'll go ahead and get into the talking about that picture. So this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, starting at verse 9. And it reads, and it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. All right. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with the hunger. Now, mind you, once again, this was in my neighborhood Walmart. All right. Now, we just had down here in Tampa, or down here in Florida, we just had a Hurricane Ian, all right, that went through the south of Florida, okay, kind of hit Tampa Bay and tore up Central Florida, all right, and headed up to the Carolinas and did some damage in the Carolinas. So all of that, I'm going to call them these devils, these elites, man, all right, Sleazy E decided to give everybody, you know, who had food stamps, some emergency, what they call emergency food stamp money, because people, you know, people had to throw away a lot of food from their homes, all right, due to the hurricane, power being out for a couple of days. So in this Walmart, man, there literally was nothing, as you can see in the post-introduction video. There was nothing. There was no meat. There was no turkey. There was no bread, all right? There was nothing inside of these stores, man, okay? Now, the reason for this precept that I brought out in Lamentations, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, right? Because why? The modern day sword is the gun, and it is a quick, easy death, all right? It's a quick, easy death opposed to dying by hunger, man. When you die by hunger, you die a slow, painful death, man, all right? The acid in your stomach that allows your food, that helps your food digest, okay, that allows your food to digest, that acid starts eating at your inner what's the word I'm looking for? Salakia. Start eating at your inner stomach, okay? So then therefore it starts eating you from the inside out. So it's a slow, painful death. You end up with cramps. You start hallucinating, all right? They start saying you see a mirage, which a mirage is a whole hallucination, all right? And that's where cannibalism will end up coming into play. Okay, reading on, it says, then they that be slain with hunger, Salakia, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Right, man. So let's grab this precept real quick. Let's go over to 2nd Esdras. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, starting at verse 22. And it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right, man. And that sown places will be going into your neighborhood Walmarts, all right, your grocery stores, your CVS's, any place that holds your Publix, your Targets, any place that holds groceries. At one point in time, it was sown. meaning it was filled with groceries. Okay, it was filled with food. And then all of a sudden, what does the scripture say? It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And I was only going in there. All right. I had already stocked myself up during the time of the hurricane with water, meat, and anything else. All right. So I was just going to get a little extra. Okay. And just sure enough, as I went in there, those people was in there acting crazy, man. I wish I would have been able to record a video, but I was too busy being circumspect because the way these people were in there, they were literally about to start fighting one another like enemies, man. Let's grab that. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse. We'll grab this one first. We'll grab 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right. So that's what's going to come, man. All right. All of these Walmarts, and then there was an article that came out about 2 weeks ago, roughly paraphrasing, maybe. All right, where it stated that most of the Walmarts in the United States are about to start closing down, man. But when you go into Walmart, it's marked law. And brothers done videos on this, you know, in the past of Walmart being turned into a FEMA camp, man. Okay? So all of this, you got to understand, too, they're orchestrating this famine. You still got this guy, Bill Gates, out here buying up all of the farmlands, man. And you have people that's going to start going against him, which is going to cause what? Sedition amongst men. All right? Uproars. Okay? And all of these things that are coming to pass are the beginning of sorrows, man. All right? Let's grab this. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 17. And it reads, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Now the prophet Esdras is saying, woe is me, destruction unto me, man. Who's going to deliver me in those days? Why? Because of the beginning of sorrows, man. Let's read on. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Right. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And that's exactly what's going on right now. All right. The brothers out here on the highways and the byways. Okay. Sighing and crying out to the Lord, to the Lord. All right. To YAHAWASHI. Okay. To bring forth what? Destruction, famine, pestilence, curses upon this place, man. So prophesying the downfall of Babylon, man. So once the elect be sealed, all right, RAWCHAA, humbly speaking, all right, we be a part of that elect. We get up out of here, man. Reading on. The beginning of famine and great death. Exactly. The beginning of famine and great death. And that's what's going on. You seeing a lot of death and destruction coming to play. All right, Hurricane Ian just went through the Caribbeans. All right, tore up Florida. Okay. Brother did a video of a lady who was trying to go down to Fort Myers to celebrate her 40th birthday. And the roof tore off. And when it tore off, a nail came and pierced this lady through her main artery, man, and killed her. Great death and famine, man, is coming upon this land. Reading on. The beginning of wars. The beginning of wars. You have U.S. talking about nuclear Armageddon against Putin. You have North Korea showing off their missiles to South Korea, and then you have China. All right, you have Putin. You have all of these kings of the East. All right, showing off their nuclear weapons along with U.S. and his NATO, man. That's the beginning of wars. All right, reading on. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for a minute, are set as slashes for a minute, man. A lot of these jakes, a lot of these 2/3 have to be destroyed, man, along with these heathens, man. So if the sword don't get you, the famine will. And if the famine don't get you, the sword will, man. Reading on. I'm gonna jump down to verse 21, and it reads, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils, there go that word evil again, bad times, grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right, behold, victuals. Victuals goes into what? Food, man. At one point in time, you was able to go inside of your neighborhood grocery store, and this whole aisle right here, all right, where all of the meat and things are at, will be full, man. At one point in time, it was good cheap, meaning you'll be able to go in, not cheap as in dirt cheap, but cheap enough for you to be able to go in and be sustainable to buy what it is that you need to buy, man. But now you go inside of your neighborhood Walmart and there's barely anything, man. Okay, so what are you going to do? You got to trust in YAHAWASHI and serve YAHAWASHI with all truth and sincerity. Because scriptures say what? My servant shall eat and ye shall be hungry. All right, let's grab this. Friends fight. Let's grab it. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand still in fear. With those that dwell therein, the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right, and that's exactly what was going on inside of that Walmart, man. All right, I was being circumspect to a point to where I had to be on the lookout, because the way people were looking, you could feel the demons on these people, man. You could see the demons in these people's eyes. You see people going to go get a loaf of bread, and you got someone else going to get that same loaf of bread, and they're looking at each other like, no, I was here first, you know? So they're going to start fighting one another like enemies, man. Why? Because of a lack of bread and great tribulation, man. You see? Now let's grab this pre-sub and let's end it on this. Salaki, excuse me. This is the book of 2nd Ezra. Let's grab this. We're going to end it on this. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, starting at verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, and with 2 or 3 hours of her Salakia. Let's bring that back from the top. Got a little tongue twisted. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compares her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Right, man. So for you few sisters that are listening in, and even for you brothers, all right, if you ever seen a woman give birth, all right, or for you women that gave birth, you know how those contractions come back to back when it's time for you to have your child in that 9th month, in that last trimester, how they come back to back. That's how the Lord is explaining when it comes to these plagues, man. All right, famine is going to come back to back. Pestilence is going to come back to back. Death, destruction, all of these plagues are going to come back to back, man, and will not slack. So what did Ezra say? Verse 40, "O my people." Who are my people? Who is the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, you Israelites. Okay, "O my people, hear my word." How are you going to hear his word? Through the prophets, man. Through the prophets. The prophets are the Lord's mouthpiece, man. Anytime the Lord is about to get ready to destroy a land, he sent forth his prophets to let people know to repent, to let the Israelites know to repent and come back to the truth and sincerity, YAHAWASHI, and serve him with all truth and sincerity, or you will perish, man. Okay, once again, if the famine don't get you, the sword will. Then it says, "Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth," man. Make you ready for thy battle. What battle? This is a spiritual battle we are in, man. Ephesians 6 and 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities." So this is a spiritual battle that we are in. And when those evils, when those bad times, when you start seeing all of these prophecies come to play, you're going to have to unplug from this world, man, and be as a pilgrim upon this earth, man. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right. Famine is on the uprise. Okay. The MOTB is around the corner. All right. Sleazy, all it's time for Sleazy to do now is make it mandatory, man. All right. And start CHIPing people. All right. So then these nukes can start flying over and we can get the hell up out of here, man. So with that, I'm going to close out and I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH, and double honors to the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom.